Thank you. It's 25 to 7. And we are going into a special council meeting after reviewing the public budget. And so I will call the meeting to order. And I will ask everybody for their attendance again. Councillor Humphreys,
Present.
Councillor Webster,
Present.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
Present.
Councillor Carew,
Present.
and I'm present. Confirmation of the agenda. I need a mover and seconder, please. Councillor Carew. Councillor Humphreys. All in favor? Oh, sorry, I got to call the names out again. Councillor Humphreys,
I'm for.
Councillor Webster,
For.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For.
Councillor Carew,
For.
and I'm for. Declaration of pecuniary interest. None being heard. We have the minutes from the previous meeting of May the 6th, 2020. I need a resolution for them minutes. Councillor Humphreys, Councillor Webster. Is there any comments on the minutes? None? Councillor Humphreys, you're okay?
For, yep.
Yep. Councillor Webster,
For.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For.
Councillor Carew,
For.
and I'm for. A staff report on the official plan amendment number 25.
So as everyone is hopefully aware, well, they are now, the official plan number 25 amendment was issued final approval by the Ministry of Municipal Affairs and Housing on March the 26th, 2020, and is now in effect and is being used in the review of all Planning Act applications submitted after that approved timeline. There was no notice to the County of Renfrew nor the Township of Horton that this was being finalized in the middle of the COVID-19 crisis, and many of the modifications being implemented impact Horton Township and the future development of our township greatly. Since 2016, the Township of Horton has been specifically working towards justifying to the province that we in fact do not have the amount of prime agricultural land as per their definitions. To the point where we struck in a special ad hoc committee meeting. We led tours through the municipality with county representatives as well as OMAFRA representatives. We had maps revised. We submitted what we could to the province to justify our recommendations. And it appears that the province did not take all of our removal suggestions at all, and we are left with quite a bit of agricultural designated lands that are now no longer able to be developed. This is going to be a huge impact on Horton Township. Not just Horton Township, other municipalities are being impacted as well, not just by the ag designation changes, but also a bunch of other items that were attached to my report that the county did summarize for us. In addition to that, though, the Township of Bonnechar Valley did send out a resolution that their council passed a few weeks ago, requesting that an extension be placed on the effective date to be implemented. And if this occurred, then this would allow that anyone who is currently working on an application to have time to submit them prior to the deadline. And it would allow staff to review and incorporate all of these changes that the province implemented. I've also got a letter of support from a local developer that recently purchased property for the sake of severing and were 90% complete in their applications to be submitted, and now they are left out and they cannot develop the land whatsoever. So you've all had a chance to read my report and the recommendation. I won't read it out in its entirety because it is quite lengthy. So when we get to the portions, item number 11 for resolutions and recommendations, I'll read it out at that time. But essentially, it is in support of Bonnechere Valley's request for the extension of the timeline. And I do believe that the County of Renfrew will be discussing this item tomorrow morning at County Council. So I'm hopeful that I can get a copy of this certified true copy of resolution if council passes it to the county staff, so it can be considered as well. So that's my report for the OPA 25.
Okay. I know that the council members' concerns are below here, but I'm wondering if we can do this while it's fresh in everybody's mind, because it is very important to the development of this township. So I'm going to ask for comment on the official plan amendment, Rhea, while it's fresh in everybody's mind. If that's okay. Deputy Mayor Campbell. Unmute yourself again, Glenn.
Sorry, sorry, Mayor Bennett. Again, I agree with Bonnechere Valley that we should push for an extension as well, and I believe you'll be attending county tomorrow, and will certainly be a voice for the township. I remember going through the process and the hours and the field trips, the mapping. I don't want to see that go by the wayside. It's the farming designation, has been strong and trying to back and stand up for that. But I remember when we were trying to review and the talks about the council table of how, what we were saying versus what was being said. I mean, the residents important and the council staff that have grown up in this area know the areas, and it's certainly not a picture of a map. It's not sitting in an office looking at it. Well, this should or shouldn't be. Once you get out and do the field trip, you start to realize that what is capable of being developed and what isn't. And I think we need to push strongly for an extension and support this. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Comments from Councillor Humphries.
Yes, Mayor Bennett, I agree with Glenn. Like, we're local people. We know our township. We all know the lands. Every road we go down, whether it's Ferguson Road that's in the bush and a little flat piece of property, and there's lots of building available there. You go down Edie Road. Yes, there's some farm properties, but they're not class 1, not class 2, not class 3. And unless they're tile ready, there might be a class 4. And I am a farmer, and some places I don't like to see houses built, but most places we have a lot of good land that could be used for houses, especially over in the Goshen Road area if the 417 ever comes. And that should be able to be up to us. And yes, if there's some questions or some petitions by local OFA, OMAFRA people that say, no, we can't have it, as long as we meet the guidelines of 1,500 meters from barns. How many people even have cattle in Horton now? Like, those numbers are going down all the time, and people are cash cropping small acres. We're not 2,000 or 3,000 acres. We're lucky to have a 60-acre field in one shot. So I'm with Glenn. We need to extend this maybe beyond what Bonnechere Valley wants. So I have no bones, but I'm not worried. I will not be severing any more off my property because it is decent agricultural land. But if I had a bush lot or something like that, I would be very upset if I couldn't sever off a piece of property in a nice bush lot, nice shady area for the future people of this township. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Humphries. Anybody else? Councillor Webster.
Thank you, Mayor Bennett. Yes, I'm in total agreement of supporting Bonnechere Valleys, even to extend it even further, because they're really down in the offices, as Deputy Mayor said, making these decisions, and they don't know our area, and who's better to know our area than us. and not listening to us is it's quite upsetting. But I'm in full support that we should minimum extend this and support Montshire Valley's resolution. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Webster. Councillor Carew?
Yeah, and just reviewing this, very disappointed with province during this time to put in effect and to the extent that don't even really like have the chance to appeal this during this time. I think it was very unfortunate that how they rolled it out. I think even with Councillor Webster is to even extend. I agree with the resolution, but even to extend it that that we can't even appeal it. I think that should be sent to John Jakuboski and Premier Doug Ford. That it should be up to us to determine what lands are for prime building or for farmland. And just even the amendment cost of almost $13,000 is ludicrous. Maybe it's fine in the city of Toronto, but it's not for a small municipality in Eastern Ontario. Hopefully the county is on board, and we can go to more with the mayor can go to more and express our concern. I'm sure those municipalities are same as we are. But I think we got to fight this until we get our way, because it's going to cripple this township for any future development.
Thank you, Councillor Carew. I do want to start off by, I need to thank our previous mayor, Mayor Kingsbury. He did a tremendous job of trying to make the government aware that what they're setting in regulations and how they're doing it was not something that really suited this area. We did get caught at the county by surprise, because they had said to us that, no, we're going to leave it alone. And we thought they were coming back to the table to negotiate with us afterwards. Then we didn't hear anything. And all of a sudden, we get a paper, it's finalized. I mean, and that this is the direction we're going. So everything that was done in previous years fell on deaf ears, because if we look at it where it was to begin with, we have gained nothing by expressing our voice that no, it doesn't suit our municipality the way you think it should. So I'm in full support of hopefully getting something from the government to give us a window to try and develop, but it's such a short period of time. To deal with what we're dealing with now, and we can't even express our concerns very well to government officials. It's almost impossible to talk to the people you need to talk to. So if we're only extending it till the end of September, I doubt that we're going to get answers that we really want to hear. We can try and express through our staff to the best of our ability the discontent with what they're putting in front of us, but that may get read, may not get read when it gets to Toronto. I think hopefully that we can grow throughout Renfrew County with the municipalities that join, and that our voice can get loud enough to actually make them understand we don't have the options that they have in the GTA, along the 401, along Highway 11. We don't have them options. We have a certain number of population that live in Renfrew County, and we got one main thoroughfare with Highway 17, and we got small businesses that need traffic to develop, and we're not going to be able to offer them anything new once the highway opens, because they've handcuffed us to the point that we just don't have the real estate left to develop with. So my voice tomorrow at county will be, let's get a team together that's strong and see if we can get to the right people and get this again, get this to the point that they can get here and understand what's going on there and what they're basically doing up here. Because the people that we had here are no longer with they are, most of them are no longer with them, so their voice isn't there. Yes, we've been to Horton and we've looked at it, what they got, because then people aren't with that department anymore to begin with. So it's going to be struggle as we move forward. Any other comments? Okay, thank you for allowing me to do that, Hope. We'll move on to the Integrity Commissioner's report.
So section 223, 1 of the Municipal Act, chapter 25 requires that all municipalities shall have an integrity commissioner. In 2018, we issued an RFP and we awarded it in 2019 to Tony Fleming of Cunningham Swan with the appointment effective March 1st, 2019. So as part of Mr. Fleming's services, the township receives an annual report providing the municipality with information, which needs to be public. This has already been posted on the township's website for that public portion, but now I'm bringing it to council for just for you to receive it as information. And just to note, there were no complaints filed in 2019. So attached is Mr. Fleming's annual report. I won't go into any depth. It's there for your review and it's on our website.
Okay, thank you. 2019 financial statement from the auditors.
So once again, there is no report to go with this package. I received this from our auditors last week for just receipt by council for information. I do know in the past, our past treasurer, Jennifer Barr, used to present the financial statements, whereas I think most normally municipalities do engage the auditors to come and present it for information purposes. I did not invite them to be part of our Zoom meeting. I wanted to provide it just with information at this point for council to receive it as information. If council so wishes to go into more depth, we can invite McKillican and Associates, which would be our representative Roy Richards, to come and present it in much more detail. I think from what I read in our statement of financial position and conclusion, that we are in a good state financially at this point. We did have a surplus in 2019. So that's good news. That surplus money that we budgeted for gets rolled back and put into the proper departmental reserves, which is already accounted for within our 2020 budget. So I'm not sure if there are any additional questions that council may have, but if they do find it prudent, we can certainly invite the auditors in to do a more detailed presentation.
Okay, thank you. The City of Pembroke has a resolution in there that they're looking for support for. Hope you want to speak on that?
Sure, yeah, let me just find it there. So the City of Pembroke passed a resolution at the beginning of the month looking to lessen the restrictions in terms of opening up the economy, opening up the municipality itself. So it's just in the council package for us to support the City of Pembroke's resolution and to send it back to the City of Pembroke, as well as our local MPP, Premier Doug Ford, et cetera, to show that we do support the City of Pembroke's initiative.
Okay. Resolutions and recommendations from the public meeting on the budget.
So we'll do the resolutions from the public meeting first, and then we'll follow up after that with the resolutions from the staff reports that we just went over, if that's okay.
Yes, that's fine. Before we support the resolution, so I should ask the council for their comments, right?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead, please. Any kind of, any concerns of any of the resolutions? Counselor Humphries.
No, the reports like from McKillican and stuff, it's all above board. They've checked their books and everything else, so I don't see any problems with that at all, so I'm in agreement with that, so. Anybody else make a comment?
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
I just scanned through it, I'm sure like everyone else, and again, for the new councillors, and it comes as no surprise that anything that's additional left over at the end of the year goes back into the appropriate reserves, as we've said pretty near at every meeting or every finance meeting, that it goes back into reserves, and you can see how that's very useful. Again, with the environment issue for the significant increase, you can see how those reserves are very important to have and keep up. I guess the only other comment is, and I keep going back to this important issue we're talking tomorrow that we want you to address, and we're not there to give you a real kick in the ankle and send you up with with your teeth baring to again, because that is bothering me that how that did get passed for the official plan, and that the designation. Again, I guess if I was there 6 feet away, I'd take a swipe at your ankle, see you up, and make your voice heard, as I know you will. So thank you.
Hope usually use the baseball bat. That way she can almost keep her 6 foot separation. Any other comments? Councillor Carew.
I wouldn't mind if the financial statement, if it, we would go back to regular meetings, maybe we can invite them in the future. Just a few questions I had, but I think I'll wait till then regarding it. But other than that, that's all the comments I have.
Okay. Councillor Webster.
No, I'm in agreement also. Maybe we should have them in when we get back to normalcy, I guess, and just questions for us as newer councillors to get the confidence behind it. But it's a great report and shows we're doing everything above board, which we were elected to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Webster. Okay, so you want to take the resolutions then, Hope, please?
Yeah, sure. So I'll dive right into all of the resolutions. First one, that council adopts the Ontario Regulation 284-09 report for the 2020 budget as printed and circulated.
Okay, mover. Deputy Mayor Campbell, Councillor Humphries. Okay, Councillor Carew, you in favor?
4.
Councillor Webster.
4.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
4.
Councillor Humphries,
4.
and I'm in favor.
That council adopts the 2020 budget with a levy of $2,431,868.
Mover. Deputy Mayor Campbell, Councillor Webster. Have we got any questions or comment, concerns? None? Councillor Humphries, 4.
4.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
4.
Councillor Webster,
4.
Councillor Carew,
4.
and I'm 4.
That council adopts the 2020 reserve budget as presented, and further that the 10-year reserve schedule commencing 2020 and ending in 2029 with an end value of $2,745,304 be adopted.
Mover. Councillor Webster, seconder. Councillor Carew. Any questions? comment? None? Counselor Humphries,
For,
Counselor Carew,
For,
Counselor Webster,
4,
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For,
and I'm for.
That council adopts the 2020 capital budget as presented.
Mover. Counselor Carew. Seconder. Comments, Counselor Humphries, sorry. Any questions, comments? Counselor Webster this time.
4,
Okay, Counselor Carew,
For,
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For,
Counselor Humphries,
for,
and I'm for.
That council adopts the 10-year capital forecast for 2020 to 2029 as presented.
Mover. Counselor Webster, Deputy Mayor Campbell. Any comments? Counselor Carew,
For,
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For,
Counselor Webster,
4,
Counselor Humphries,
for,
and I'm for.
Whereas the notice of decision given on March 27th, 2020, under subsection 1734 of the Planning Act, with respect to official plan amendment number 25, OPA 25, to the Renfrew County official plan was received March 30th, 2020. And whereas this decision went into effect March 26th, 2020. And whereas pursuant to subsection 17, 36.5, and 38.1 of the Planning Act, this decision is final and not subject to appeal. And whereas this decision will have a negative impact on development and the economy within Renfrew County, including matters of provincial interest such as affordable housing, growth management, asset management, and economic development. And whereas the province is in a state of economic recovery due to the impacts of COVID-19, and whereas the municipalities are already under a tremendous amount of strain due to a loss of revenue, increase in expenses, lack of resources, work from home conditions, and local businesses and development being shut down. And whereas development applications already underway will either not materialize or experience extreme delays due to the excessive requirements under this decision. And whereas an extension to September 28th, 2020 for the effective date of these provisions would allow municipal staff the time to incorporate these changes and support economic recovery to allow applications currently in the works to be completed at a time when development will play a crucial role in the recovery of the County of Renfrew and Ontario. Now therefore be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Horton support the Township of Bonnechere Valley's efforts in imploring the Province of Ontario to amend the effective date of the decision with respect to the official plan amendment number 25 to the County of Renfrew's official plan to September 28th, 2020 to assist in the economic recovery of Renfrew County and Ontario. And further that a copy of this resolution be sent to the Honourable Doug Ford, Premier of Ontario, the Honourable Steve Clark, Minister of Municipal Affairs and Housing, the Honourable John Yakubuski, MPP, Renfrew, Nipissing, Pembroke, the County of Renfrew, and all of its lower tier municipalities.
Got a mover? Deputy Mayor Campbell? Seconder? Counselor Carew? Counselor Humphries, you got a question?
do you think that, I know Bonnechere Valley is pushing for the end of September, but with the way things, we've been 9 weeks shut down now, maybe the end of the year be pushed a little bit longer, because that's a pretty short time frame. Like, it's pretty well 3 months. And that's 90 days isn't very long to get stuff done, especially with the way the situation is with this COVID-19. And we trod on them, could still be shut down in December. We don't know. So I am in favor of Bonnechere Valley, but I wonder if we should try and push that date to a longer, and maybe you'll find out more tomorrow at county to see if we can push that date further than September. That's my only quick comment.
Okay, so I don't really know, Counselor Humphries, of how much weight we're going to have at county council tomorrow, so if we wish to have time to work on this, I think we should put it in the resolution that we're looking for a longer time to do it. Because I really think this is probably going to be from a ground up situation that we're going to have to work at this that way. I don't quite understand how come everybody else is shut down and we're limited to what we can do. But yet the province has decided to throw this into the mix without considering what's in front of every municipality in the country. So like, and in the province. So I don't quite get why after they shut everything down, they bring this forward. I don't know that. And I don't know whether I'll get answers for that tomorrow or not. I can assure you that I will be as strong as voice as I can be, and hopefully get enough support from the other 16, sorry, to try and get something moving from the county level. But other than my 5-minute speech that I might try and accomplish tomorrow, I don't know how else to go about it, but build it from the ground up, like Bones River Valley has started doing. So I hope.
So if council is comfortable and there's consensus, I can certainly change the date to the end of the year. It's not going to hurt the resolution by any means, but as long as everybody's in favor of doing that.
Okay, so you want me to ask everybody for a consensus?
Sure.
Okay, Councillor Carew,
4.
Councillor Humphries,
4.
Councillor Webster,
It was a good idea, Councillor Humphries, and I'm for it.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
Absolutely, absolutely with prejudice.
And I'm definitely for it. I think it's wrong. I think it's something that has not been considered for development in rural Ontario to begin with. And I honestly thought, like I said at the first, that Mayor Kingsbury in his time in this office had put it to rest to begin with. And hopefully we can do something with it. With enough support from other townships. So that's where we're at. So you need a motion to move that ahead then, Hope, or have I got?
I do have a mover and a seconder. So now if you wanted to call the vote.
Okay. Councillor Humphries,
4.
Councillor Carew,
4.
Councillor Webster,
For?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For.
and I'm definitely for.
That Council of the Township of Horton received the Integrity Commissioner's 2019 annual report as submitted.
Mover, Councillor Webster, second, Councillor Carew. Councillor Humphries,
4.
Councillor Carew,
4.
Councillor Webster,
For?
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
I'm for.
and I'm for.
That council accept the 2019 financial statements from McKillican and Associates as information.
Mover, Councillor Humphries, seconder, Deputy Mayor Campbell. Any comments? You will note, Hope, that in the resolution that we would invite them back after the chamber opens back up then?
I won't put it in the resolution. I'll put it in the minutes, and I've made myself a note that I will invite them back. Yes.
Okay. Okay, and so I just need everybody to vote now, right?
Yeah.
Councillor Humphries,
4.
Councillor Carew,
4.
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
For.
Councillor Webster,
For.
and I'm for.
That Horton Township Council support the City of Pembroke's resolution number 13 to properly address local needs and reopen some activities and reopen businesses. And that a copy of this resolution be forwarded to Premier Doug Ford, the Honorable Christine Elliott, Minister of Health, MPP John Yakubuski, Association of Municipalities of Ontario, Renfrew County District Health Unit, County of Renfrew, and the City of Pembroke.
Mover. Councillor Humphries, Deputy Mayor Campbell. Deputy Mayor Campbell,
Or,
Councillor Webster,
For.
Councillor Humphries,
Or,
Councillor Carew,
Or,
and I'm for.
Well, that is it for that section.
That's good because I was getting a little bit confused of where we.
We're on number 12 now.
Yeah, well, I got that part. Okay, so we have the council and staff members' concerns. We've addressed most of them on the way through, so. Do we have any other comments?
No.
Deputy Mayor Campbell.
and can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, again, just attending the soft opening of the landfill site. I was up today as well and spoke with the staff up there. Another busy day today. Brush seemed to be the heat didn't hinder the delivery of a lot of brush and debris that came in today. So I'd like to thank staff, especially the committee. I know Councillor Cleroux and Councillor Webster and Adam Knapp for sitting down and putting together a plan. It seemed to work quite well, and you know, the social distancing, the payment, and the placement of everything went very smooth. So again, nice to see that. I know the residents of Horton have well weighted and they're still using it very strongly. So I just wanted to thank everyone, and of course my partner Councillor Humphries for he took the morning shift, I took the afternoon shift, and it was easy to see how it worked well, and then it was easy for me to take over for the afternoon. So thank you, Councillor Humphries.
Okay, so I do want to apologize to the rest of my councillors. I was unable to fulfill my commitment that day, and it's actually one of the few days I was even unable to get off the couch at home. So I apologize for that. I normally don't get myself in that position, but that day I did, and I've suffered from it since. But I am on the mend. So yeah, thank you for accommodating that. Okay, any other Councillor Humphries? You're unmute yourself, Doug, please.
I'm there. Hit the button twice. I want to compliment Hope Dillabo on her receiving her accreditation of her Ontario Municipal Clerk designation on April 21st. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very, very nice. Very nice to see. Nice letter from your the president of INCO. So anyway, just congratulations. Thank you.
Okay. Hope.
I think Councillor Cleary might have had his hand up before me.
Oh, sorry.
If he wants to go first.
Councillor Carew.
yeah, the only concern I had, and maybe you can speak to this, Mayor, on River Road, from last year's project the county did, it was my understanding that there's supposed to be some deficiencies. Do you know if that project's done, or if they're gonna come back and fix some deficiencies in that?
I have to apologize for, I can't answer that. We do have our first committee meeting since February, starting next month. So we will be, I will get them questions answered, Councillor Carew, because there is quite a few concerns along there that need to be addressed. And hopefully I can bring them up as we, well, I will be bringing them up, it's not hopefully, that we can have something done with the concerns that residents do have along the road there. And but hopefully, we have the upper end under contract now, so, and that contractor happens to be down at Sand Point also, so he's got equipment in the area that he could address any of them situations as long as the county is in line to address them.
Thank you.
Okay, any other concerns?
Sorry, what the one, and maybe, Council Webster can, maybe answer this. Is it worthwhile to have some of our community meetings, like for, or is it this point, I'm just thinking tests, for example. Is there any need for like the, like, part of the 2020 budget, for like the, a gravel road program or anything like that, or do you think that staff can handle it on like their staff level? Maybe hope to, maybe.
Staff is working on bringing a recommendation to the test committee, hoping that we can actually have a committee meeting soon. And that was one of the concerns or my comments I wanted to make during this meeting. But staff is developing a plan and it has a plan in place, but wants to bring it to test committee first before moving forward with anything.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other comments or concerns? Councillor Webster.
Yeah, congratulations to Hope on your new achievement and everything that's gone on. The township should be proud of everything we've accomplished with the opening of the landfill, the budget, the recycling center. It's a great job by everybody, and starts at the top. And I hope you should congratulate all your staff. And I know we've picked up helping by the recreation department. We a fellow employee was there, and the rest of the staff has picked up the work from that, and you should be congratulating them as well. Thank you.
Hope.
Just to reference, thank you, Councillor Webster, for those comments, but I just want to say that Horton Township has a great staff, team of staff right now, and knock on wood, hopefully it stays like that for quite some time, but we're a really great group of co-workers, not only co-workers, we're also friends, and they're a great support system for me. And I can't thank them enough. And I hope that I make that known most days for all staff. But in addition to that, I do have comments. We are looking at devising a plan to open up the municipal office back to the public, hopefully on June the 8th, in conjunction with all of the other municipalities in the county. I know the town of Arnprior is already opened up, whether it's premature or not at this point, but we are working on a plan. Horton's already ahead of the game because we do have the plexiglass up at our front counter. So now it's just a matter of devising a plan with masks and hand sanitizer and how we're going to approach that, and limiting the number of residents or the public into the building itself. In addition to that too, I want council to start considering whether we are going to be having regular meetings, whether they're meetings on Zoom, or hopefully if they lift restrictions that we can have a physical meeting. But I think a lot of work is sitting stagnant because we're not meeting as committee. Specifically the task committee, I think, needs to maybe have a meeting. So if council's willing to do that, to invite the committee members, the public advisory members, to be on a Zoom meeting, maybe we need to look at that too to start moving things forward.
Okay, comment? I'm very much hoping that within 2 weeks, we will be allowed to come back to the council chambers as a council. Not all councils will be able to do that, but certainly council our side can accommodate 10 people in a council meeting and still be able to keep the social distancing. And I think what's in front of us really needs to be done a little bit different than we can offer the way these meetings are carried out. And but we have been very successful working as a council, and certainly it'll be nice to get back in the chambers so where we can hear everybody and we can hear what's being said just a little bit differently than we are now. And I'm probably old fashioned. I'd rather be sitting where talking eyeball to eyeball, and that I hope comes back very shortly. The other thing I want to mention is on the next council meeting, as everybody's aware, that Hope has met her commitments as far as fulfilling all her goals to council satisfaction, and certainly came through with flying colors. And we do have to look at the grid at the next council meeting, because we had said last fall that when that was completed, that the grid would be looked at. So I would that'll have to be on the next minutes to look at. It's not on this agenda, so we'll have to put it on the next one. So. Okay. Any other concerns? No. Okay. So we need a bylaw then, Hope, for the 20 to 25 required.
Yeah, so I have a resolution to enact, that council enact the following bylaw, 2020-25, sums required for 2020, and that's in reference to the budget.
Okay, I need a mover. Deputy Mayor Campbell, Councillor Carew. Any comments? None? Councillor Humphreys,
Or,
Councillor Webster,
4,
Councillor Carew,
For,
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
4.
and I'm for.
Ooh.
And the next one obviously is Deputy Mayor Campbell's. It's a confirming bylaw.
I shall move.
Seconder, Councillor Webster. In favor, Councillor Humphreys.
yes,
Deputy Mayor Campbell,
4.
Councillor Webster,
4.
Councillor Carew,
For.
and I'm for. So with that, thank you, everyone. It's nice to sit in this chair and know that we've accomplished what we've accomplished with all this stuff that's been throwing on us, and everybody has to be thanked for that, because it's certainly been a rewarding experience to deal with this budget. Everybody's voice was heard and it came back, and at the end of the day, Nikki even served us with cheesecake, so. So next month, I'm gonna try and get her and Ford together to see who's the best, but Ford's got a long piece to go to catch her, I'm sure. Okay, thank you. Have a good evening. I'll leave you know the outcome of the meeting tomorrow.
thank you.
Thank you.